Greetings everyone, this is Tony Holowitz and I want to thank you for being here for this tutorial. I had someone reach out to me and say that they wanted to start using Act software for doing some marketing. But when we talked about it a little bit more, we realized that in their database they had not brought in a lot of email addresses. So they had a lot of contacts but not a lot of email addresses. It was something like 6,000 contacts but with only about 800 email addresses. So that was a dilemma. And one of the things I said to them is, the great thing about sending email is that there's a history of it. So we started talking about, we said, if you have Microsoft Outlook as your primary email program, one of the things you could potentially do is take all the emails you've sent out on the assumption that things you've sent out are important, maybe people you've worked with in the past or people you've contacted. It could be customers, it could be prospects, and think about all those emails you've sent out. What if you could take all that information and export it out of Outlook to then turn around and bring it back into Act? Now, you might have a little bit of limited information there, but that's what I'm going to show you how to do right now. So in Outlook, we have the Sent Items folder, which you'll observe over here on the left-hand side here. I've sort of scrunched in some of this information for privacy reasons. But now that we know we've got the Sent Items folder, and if you look down below, there's 60,000 sent items. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up and click on File. I'm going to go down to Open and Export. When I get here, I'm going to click on Import Export, and this box comes up. So what we're going to do is we're going to click Export to a File. I'm going to click Next. Now it's going to ask us, what do we want to export? Well, I want to export the comma separated values, and I'm going to click Next. I'm going to tell it I want the Sent Items folder. I'm going to click Next. Now it's going to ask me, what do I want to call it? And today is the 22nd. So I'm going to type in here the 22nd. I'm going to click Next. When I do that, it's going to ask me, what do I want to do? Export of the email messages from folders Sent Items. Okay. Now I can map some custom fields, but I just want to get all the fields out. And I'm going to click Finish. Now it's going to export all this information to a CSV file, which I'll now be able to turn around, open up, and see what it looks like. So I'm going to pause for a second. I'm going to open up that file and show you what it looks like. Okay, here is my file right on my desktop. I'm going to double click on that. Once it opens up, you're going to have to go into Excel and clean it up a bit. And after I open this up, I'll show you a little bit more information. So when it first opens up, it's sort of a lot of gobbledygook. You got to really sort of break this down. And what I always tell people about Excel is when you're working in Excel, a lot of times, especially if you've exported things, the next step is to go in and clean it up a little bit. So again, I'm going to pause this. I'm going to go in and clean this up a little bit and show you what it will look like. So now that I've exported this out to Excel and I've cleaned it up a bit, you'll see we have the fundamental information here. We have the from name, which is me, so we don't really need that, but I just want to show you that. We have the to name, and we have the to email address. Now in this case, there was also a field or a column in here for people that I might have blind carbon copied or carbon copy. I just cut that out for right now. But what it shows you is the information we need, and obviously I've blocked it for privacy reasons, but it's the information you need, and now that we've cleaned this up, I can save it and say, okay, this is the Outlook contacts ready to import into Act. We can import them in, and we can say, listen, if the email address is already in Act, don't bring it in, but we can bring this information in. Now, there's some things that I would also think about before bringing this information in. But the point I'm trying to make is if you've not been good at saving or creating contacts in Act through your years of emailing back and forth, this is how you can get the information out. Now keep in mind, the only folder that I took a look at was the Sent Items folder. We can do the same with other folders. Maybe all your deleted items, maybe you want to go and do that with that item as well. So not going to lie, there's a bit of work here, a bit of time you got to put in because now you got to go through and sort of assess who these contacts are. But what I've always suggested to people is good writing can overcome lack of organization. So for all you know, these could be friends, family, whoever it might be. It's really easy to send an email out to these people and sort of get the ball rolling. And there's some ways you can break this down a little bit more. The point being this: you have a lot of good data in Microsoft Outlook that you might not be taking advantage of, and you should be. And that's why I want to illustrate this. Okay, my friends, you have a great day. Thank you very much. As always, reach out to me. My name is Tony Olowitz, and reach out if I can answer any questions or be of any assistance to you. Thank you. Have a great one. Bye now.